Title: My Cheating Wife. Arrogantly declared, "Listen to me. If you file for divorce, I'll leave you without a penny. You'll have to pay not only for the divorce itself, but also alimony to me and child support. You'll also lose custody rights over the children. So I'll continue having fun with my lover." I snapped back, "Do you really think I'll tolerate and support you in such a lifestyle?" She laughed, "You have no other choice. There are moments in life when reality hits you so hard it knocks the air right out of your lungs. This was one of those moments. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was stunned. I stood in the kitchen of the home I built with my wife, Julia. The same kitchen where we had once celebrated birthdays, anniversaries, and lazy Sunday mornings with our kids. But today it felt like a courtroom. Julia stood across from me with a wine glass in one hand and venom in her voice. "Listen to me," she said, her tone sharp, her eyes cold. "If you file for divorce, I'll leave you without a penny." I blinked. She wasn't crying. She wasn't sorry. She was smirking, almost proud. "You'll have to pay for the divorce," she continued, "and then alimony, child support, and don't even think about custody. You'll lose." I clenched my jaw, the air around me thick with disbelief. Julia and I had been together for 11 years. We had 2 kids, a house, a life I thought we built together. I had sacrificed my 20s for our family, worked extra hours, skipped vacations, and made sure Julia had everything she ever wanted. And now, she was telling me that not only had she moved on, but that she expected me to finance her affair. "I'll continue having fun with my lover," she said casually, swirling her wine. "And you'll keep paying for everything." That's when I snapped. "Do you really think I'll tolerate and support you in such a lifestyle?" I asked, my voice low. She didn't hesitate. She just laughed. "You have no other choice." That laugh? That arrogant, cruel little laugh? That was the moment something inside me broke. But not in the way she expected. I didn't beg. I didn't threaten. I didn't even shout. Instead, I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "You just made the biggest mistake of your life." And in that moment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. The moment Julia laughed in my face, something inside me flipped. I stopped being the man she thought she could control. No more playing the nice husband. No more sacrificing my dignity. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to threaten. Instead, I got quiet, focused, deadly. Because if she wanted war, I was going to give her one she'd never recover from. But first, I had to play it smart. That night, after her arrogant declaration, I didn't storm out. I didn't sleep on the couch. I didn't even look angry. Instead, I kissed our kids goodnight, had dinner as usual, smiled at her like nothing happened. That confused her. And confusion was step 1 of breaking someone like Julia. She wanted drama. She wanted a reaction. But I wasn't giving her the satisfaction. Inside, I was already 10 moves ahead. The next morning, I scheduled a meeting with the best family law attorney in the state, someone with a reputation for protecting fathers and dismantling manipulative spouses in court. I paid in cash, no paper trail. I told them everything: the affair, her threats, her arrogance, her belief that she could destroy me financially and walk away laughing. My lawyer? He smiled. "Don't worry. You're not the first guy to sit in this chair. And she's not the first woman who thought she'd win by default." That's when he handed me a checklist. Separate bank account, open it, secure documents, gather them, custody preparation, start documenting everything. That night, while Julia scrolled through Instagram in bed, laughing at messages from her lover, I was in the office scanning pay stubs, tax returns, mortgage documents, and insurance policies. She didn't even notice. That was her second mistake. For weeks, I said nothing. I smiled. I played the role. But behind the scenes, I installed security cameras inside and outside the house, with audio. I activated a recording app on my phone every time we spoke. I started journaling everything she said about the kids, money, the affair, time-stamped, organized. She was too comfortable. She had no idea I was preparing a file so thick, so airtight, that even the most biased judge would tear her apart in court. One evening, while she was out on one of her work dinners, I checked the GPS tracker I'd placed under her car. She wasn't at dinner. She was at a cheap hotel on the outskirts of town. And her boss was married with kids. I took pictures, videos, screenshots of messages synced from our shared iCloud, because she never logged out. The woman thought she was a queen, but she was about to be dethroned in the most brutal way. Julia spent less and less time with the children as her affair deepened. She missed bedtime stories, skipped school meetings, forgot important appointments. I didn't say a word. I just showed up for the kids. Every recital, every soccer match, every parent-teacher conference. I documented everything. When they cried at night asking, "Where's mommy?" I comforted them and recorded the moment. Because in a custody battle, consistency wins, and I was becoming the rock they relied on. 6 weeks passed. Julia thought I was broken. She even said one night smugly, "You're finally being mature about this. I guess you're accepting that this is just how life is." I smiled and replied, "Sure, Julia. Whatever you say." She kissed my cheek and left to go for drinks with friends. I waved goodbye from the porch, but she didn't know. The divorce papers were already prepared. The evidence file was ready. Her lover's wife had just found out too, and hell was about to begin. Revenge isn't loud. It's quiet, methodical, surgical. The best revenge doesn't erupt in a single explosion. It peels away their world piece by piece until all they have left is the realization that they destroyed themselves. And for Julia, that day had come. The sun was shining the morning she got served. She was sipping coffee at the dining table, scrolling her phone like she didn't have a care in the world. Until a knock at the door changed everything. I stood behind the curtain, watching as she opened it. "Julia Adams?" the process server asked politely. "Yes." The moment he handed her the divorce papers, her smile collapsed. I walked out of the kitchen with my own cup of coffee, calm as ever. "Surprise," I said. She flipped through the stack of documents, and I could see it in her eyes. Panic. "You're divorcing me?" I nodded. "Based on adultery, neglect, and emotional abuse. Should be an easy case." She scoffed, trying to recover. "You won't get away with this. You'll still pay me alimony. I'll get the kids." I held up a flash drive. "Not with what's on here, you won't." 3 days later, it got worse. Her lover's wife, Vanessa, found my number. We met privately. I shared what I had: GPS logs, messages, hotel check-ins, photos. Her face didn't twitch once. Then she said, "Thank you. Now I know how deep it runs. I'll handle my end." That evening, while Julia was at work, Vanessa stormed into her office, walked right up to Julia's desk, and slapped divorce papers of her own on the table. Julia's co-workers watched the entire scene unfold. Vanessa didn't stop there. She announced, loudly and clearly, who Julia had been sleeping with, how long, and how many times company resources had been used to support their affair. HR was looped in. Her AP suspended pending an internal ethics review. Julia? Publicly humiliated, but that was just Act 1. 2 weeks earlier, I had restructured everything. All assets protected in my name. Bank accounts separated. Joint credit cards closed. Her car lease canceled. I was the primary signer. Health insurance removed from my plan the moment she was served. Her card declined at the salon, then again at the grocery store. She called me in a rage. "You're cutting me off?" "I'm protecting myself legally. My lawyer advised it. You can speak to yours." Click. She thought she'd ruined me. She had no idea I had rebuilt everything behind her back. Our first court hearing arrived. Julia walked in wearing designer heels, probably charged on one of the last purchases she made before I froze the cards. She smirked at me across the courtroom, but her confidence crumbled fast. Because my lawyer laid out everything. Her absences from the children's lives, testimonies from teachers and babysitters, security camera footage showing her coming home at 2 a.m., 3 nights a week. Messages between her and her AP discussing getting rid of the dead weight, aka me. Audio of her saying, "I'm not giving up the fun just to play mom all the time." She paled. Her lawyer shifted uncomfortably. The judge? He barely asked a question before saying, "Primary custody to the father. Visitation schedule pending further evaluation." And just like that, she lost the one card she thought would guarantee her power. Her affair exposed at work and in court. Her lover out of a job and facing his own divorce. Her family? Disgusted. Her friends? Gone. Her financial support? Cut off. Her children? With me, where they're safe and loved? She called, crying, begging to just talk. I didn't pick up. 1 month later, I dropped off the kids at a supervised center for her short visitation. She looked like a ghost of the woman she once was, tired, worn down, and no longer smug. As I buckled my son's jacket, I heard her whisper, "I made a mistake." I paused, met her eyes. "You made a choice," I said. "This is the consequence." Then I walked out, and for the first time in months, I felt free. Rock bottom wasn't a place, it was a mirror, and Julia was finally forced to look into it. No makeup, no applause, no lies left to hide behind, just the truth, and it was ugly. Her lover, gone. The moment Vanessa's lawyers filed for divorce and took half of everything, he folded like wet cardboard. He tried to crawl back to his wife. Didn't work. He ghosted Julia shortly after. She called him 5 times in one day. Blocked. Her job? HR let her go quietly. Due to departmental restructuring, they said. But everyone knew the truth. Word had spread about the affair, the office drama, and the public takedown Vanessa had orchestrated. Her reputation? Ruined. She had once been respected, polished, the kind of woman people envied. Now, she was a walking cautionary tale. She sent me a letter, handwritten, 4 pages long, full of apologies, regret, excuses disguised as reasons. She said she missed the kids. She said she missed me. She asked if there was a small part of me that could try again. She ended it with, "You always saw the best in me. Maybe you still can." I folded the letter, sealed it in an envelope, and mailed it back. Inside, only one note. "I did see the best in you. You just made sure I never see it again." A month later, I was awarded full custody. She was granted supervised visitation twice a month, pending her completion of parenting classes and counseling. She didn't show up for 2 sessions. The court took notice. Then, she tried to delay the divorce ruling. Her new lawyer requested mediation. I agreed. Why? Because I wanted her to think she had a shot, that maybe there was still a chance she could claw something back. We sat down at the mediation table. Her eyes flickered with a trace of hope. I didn't speak for the first 20 minutes, just let my lawyer do all the talking. Then, finally, I leaned forward, pulled out the folder. Inside, proof of her affair, proof of her financial lies, proof of her neglect to the children, proof that she had signed away any rights to the marital home months earlier. "Here's the deal," I said. "You walk away with the car, your personal items, and your name." She blinked. "That's it?" I nodded. She looked at her lawyer, stunned. "This isn't fair," I smiled. "Neither was betrayal." She signed. I kept the house. I got the kids. I rebuilt my finances, and I rebuilt my life. One quiet, peaceful day at a time. Julia? She moved into a small apartment, took a part-time job answering phones. Every now and then, she still tries to send emails. I don't block them. I don't reply either. Because the best revenge is moving on so completely. They realized they never had the power they thought they did. She thought she could play the system. She thought she could destroy him and walk away unscathed. But in the end, the only thing she destroyed was herself. Was this revenge justified, or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take. And if you love jaw-dropping pro-revenge stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like for more thrilling tales you won't want to miss. Every like, share, and subscription means the world to us. It helps us keep bringing you the stories you crave. Your support truly makes a difference. Thank you so much for being part of our community.